Hey everybody, I'm back for our very first official serial dater powwow breakdown. One thing I failed to mention in the introduction is I will not be using these guys' real names. Several reasons, obviously. I'm not trying to put these guys completely on blast here. A lot of the stuff that goes on in these dates are my fault. Also, the names I will be using are the ones that my best friend, who can never remember anyone's name, makes up on her own. So some of them are pretty comical. But the first one, we are going to call him Bruce Wayne. This is literally the first date I went on after getting a divorce. Before going to that level, today's cereal of the day is the ever so classy and mature Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So let's break down why I call him Bruce Wayne. Him and I both have an affinity for Batman, and he claimed he was Batman, and I said, no, I don't think so. That's a hard no. He's like, well, maybe I'm more like Bruce Wayne. I'm like, all right, you can be Bruce Wayne, I'll be Batman. So I met him. Like I mentioned before, I love my job. It is very social, especially at that point. This was like a promo girl kind of stage. I was 34. And I met Bruce Wayne at an event that I was promoting and he was covering with his job. So we were talking, no big deal. Honestly, I thought the guy was like closer to my age. He looked like Jack Tripper from Three's Company. He had like the hair thing going on. I'm like, yeah, he's probably my age. Nice enough guy. No big deal. No. Well, yes, he's a very nice guy. Not a big deal. What was a big deal is the fact that he was 24. I was 34. That's a very hearty age gap. No, this is not how I normally pour my milk on my cereal, but I don't want you judging what kind of cereal or what kind of milk I use. So I poured it into a mason jar first. So also, clearly I'm the epitome of class. So why wouldn't I pour my milk into a vessel before pouring it into my cereal? Plus, I'm the one who does the dishes anyway, so what's one extra dish? Okay, anyway, back to the topic at hand. So this guy, Bruce Wayne, we're talking at this event, totally fine. We exchanged numbers. That's not until after I started like texting, talking, did I realize he was 24. I'm like, I'm a 34-year-old mother of four. But regardless, he's like, well, let's just get a glass of wine. I'm like, all right, we'll go out for a glass of wine. So I have him meet me, which, like I mentioned, the whole dance space bubble thing, I don't let people pick me up here either. I think I've let it happen like twice in my life. So meet him at my all-time favorite wine bar, the Barrel Room in North Canton. Sitting on the patio, totally fine. Conversation is easy, not anything that's like I'm seeing sparks or anything. More like I can see working with him in a professional capacity in the future. There was nothing about it that like tugged at me to a point where I'm like, I can get over this age difference. Even though he did look older than me. So I don't know what is in my eye right now, but is itching like crazy. I just want to rip him out, put him in a glass of milk, and then put him back in. So conversation's totally fine. Not a big deal. The bill comes. I'm like, hey, let's split it. He's like, no, I got it. I'm like, okay. So he pays, which is very gentlemanly. I give him all the credit in the world for that. It's very nice. You guys out there that are still paying on the first date, kudos to you. You girls that are out there that are attempting to or truly have every intention of at least paying for your own share of the first date, kudos to you. It's called manners. Well done to you both. So, dead grass. End of the date comes. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go. He's like, I'll walk you to your car. I'm like, okay, it's very nice of you. So this is like one of those weird situations because here I am. I haven't dated anybody since I was, with my ex-husband. And after we got married, we didn't really do any dating. Like he worked very hard, and I was a waitress and a bartender, and worked in the restaurant business. I was a substitute teacher, so we were both very, very busy, and then we started cranking kids out. So there wasn't a whole lot of time for dating for us. So I hadn't dated since him and I were first together. So I'm like, okay, this. I don't know how to end a date. I don't know, what do I do? This is why I don't like talking on the phone, because I don't know how to end a conversation without being like, okay, I'm done with this conversation. Okay, bye. So he walks me to my car, and he goes in for the kiss, and I can see it happening, and it's like slow motion, and it's not like a romantic slow motion. It's more like a, what do I do? So I pull this. I do the, you're going, ooh, juke, bob and weave, hug, and a side little night grandma kind of kiss. So he's like, and he pulls back, because he held on a little too long, more than that. It was he was trying to embrace me. I'm like, no, honey, see, you're more my child than somebody I would go on multiple dates with. Oh, he pulls back, and he looks at me deep in my eyes, which freaks me out. I don't like people looking me in my eye. I feel like you can, you'll know all my secrets then, so I don't like it. So, anyway, he looks me deep in the eyes, and he's like, I think I'm falling in love with you. I'm freaking terrified at this point. I'm like, okay. How exactly does one respond to this? One, you don't know my last name. You don't know anything about me. So for you to have this notion that you're in love with me is severely misguided, and most definitely a sign of how much growing up you have to do. You don't know anything about me other than I like wine. I work for a great company that I'm very passionate about, and I like Batman. That's all you know about me. You don't know that my favorite food is potatoes. You don't know that I prefer Malbec over any white wine, which I do not like in any way, shape, or form unless it's full of sugar and called sangria. You don't know that I have 78 pairs of high heels. You don't know anything about me. You don't know that I have memorized Harry Potter, all 7 books, and listen to them frequently on audiobook in my car. Ask my best friend. It drives her freaking crazy. So you know nothing about me, and you're in love with me. This is a hard no. So lesson I learned from this date is when they're 24, show them the door. Too young. And then it's like, okay, so after he says this to me, and I'm like, oh my God. My face is probably like this. Inside, I have this crazy struggle, oh my God, what are you thinking? Why are you saying this to me? What do you want me to say to this? I don't want to hurt this kid's feelings. I don't. He's a nice kid. But him and I are just hard no. So I go, thanks. I said, thank you. Then jumped in my car and pulled out like a bat out of hell. I could not believe it. I'm like, how is this my freaking life right now? So, like I said, rule number 1, 24, show them the door. Number 2, guys or girls who are doing this, first date is never a time to tell somebody that you're falling in love with them. Get to know somebody. Take your time. What is your rush? There are a million people out there. Well, there's obviously more than a million. I'm not really sure of the totals, but there are a lot of people out there. You don't have to hurry up and find that first one that you find. That's terrible. So from that point on, he's still texting me, and I'm like, oh my God, what? I don't want to be rude and be like, listen, dude. Sorry. Straight platonic. This is just all bad. So I did what I do best, and I ghosted him. So here's my question for you guys. How do you get rid of, or not get rid of, but how do you like let somebody down and be like, listen, it's just, this isn't for us. Don't get all butthurt about it. Like, is ghosting okay after the first date? Like, can you do a slow fade? Is that okay after 1 or 2 dates? Do I owe him an explanation? Do you owe me an explanation if you do this to me? Like, where's that line? Is ghosting ever okay? Question number 1. This is unrelated to Bruce Wayne here, or Jack Tripper, depending on which name we're using for him. But a little texting etiquette for when you're talking to somebody. Never, ever send a D pic. No one wants to see it. It's not cute. Girls don't look at that and they're not like, I want to, yep, that's the one I'm going to tie a little bow on. Check. They're not cute. They're very strange looking. They're like this added piece that God forgot to plop on and just put a little glue and went because he had an extra piece. They're not cute. So please, under no circumstances, ever send a D pic, especially when they weren't asked for. And if a girl asks very early on in your relationship, she's probably just doing it to show her friends so they all can laugh. So I highly recommend be a little more modest. Cover that up. The other thing about texting etiquette, if we're texting and all of a sudden I go missing, you don't need to like follow it up with a couple question marks. Hello? Question mark. I will get to you when I get to you. And if I don't get to you, I don't get to you. So don't keep blowing up my phone. I will talk to you when I, A, have time, or 2, feel like it. Sometimes I just don't want to talk to you. It's nothing personal. Sometimes I don't want to talk to anybody. So 2 things. No pics of them, and don't creep. Don't be a stalker. Give somebody some space. When they want to talk to you or when they can talk to you, they will. It's not that bad. So, but this is what I'm asking from you guys. Number 1, what is the protocol for ghosting or the slow fade? Do you owe somebody an explanation after a date or 2? Or can you just be like, nope, not for me? So that also, if you guys have any questions or you want to have some feedback as far as how my date went, feel free to let us know. Subscribe, type in your little messages, share with your friends. The next time I hop on, we will be talking about the ever classy Travis, the first multiple date person I was acquainted with after the divorce. This one, we won't cover the entire relationship because it was all over the place, but we will talk about first impressions and how the dating part went and some other stuff. I'm sure I'll think of something that has nothing to do with any of it. But again, if you have anything to say about the whole dating situation or have any feedback, please let me know. Oh my God, it's probably my mom. Cute little gemstone. Just gonna eat a little piece. Okay, so this is episode 1, closing for the serial dater. To you, Bruce Wayne, great kid. Hope you found your happiness.